Welcome to another episode of This Fat Girl Life. I am your host extraordinaire, Kimberly Pleasia. You see me every week, and I am back again. And tonight I have Martha with me, and this is going to be such a great conversation. But before we jump into that, you guys, if you are enjoying this broadcast, if you want to be part of this broadcast, all I ask is that you go to buymeacoffee.com /This Fat Girl Life. By becoming a follower and supporter over there, you get access to the tea first. Y'all, I just released new tea today. You want to go read it. Trust me. Plus, if you decide to be a sponsor, it's literally $5. That is cheaper than what you get coffee at Starbucks. $5 buys me a cup of coffee there. And y'all know I live on caffeine. So buymeacoffee.com /This Fat Girl Life. Martha, thank you so much for coming on tonight. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I am doing well. It's been a good day. The Packers are winning so far. It's good.
Sounds great.
So before we jump into our topic tonight, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Martha Mok. I'm someone who was suffering in silence for over 30 years. Been for abusive marriage, been bullied at school, and the hardest thing for me to admit was being sexually molested by someone I trust. But despite all of that, I run multiple businesses, an entrepreneur, a motivational speaker, and a multi-award-winning international makeup artist. This is my past for the 30 years, now that I have reclaimed my voice and become the super confident coach.
And I was saying, you just do it all, don't you?
I love it because my mission is to have no woman suffering in silence. I wanted to help women to embrace their confidence and to shine in their self-worth, their relationship, and their career.
And that's part of what we're going to be talking tonight is having that confidence despite anything else and being able to live your best life. Now, y'all hear that all the time of living my best life, everything else. And it sounds really cliche, but it's really important. It took me 45 years to get to a point of being truly happy with my life. And that's what living your best life is, you guys. It's simply being happy in yourself, happy in your space, and happy with your life where it's at. It's not a hard formula. It's a lot easier than it sounds. I promise.
I do agree with you. I recently got asked that question, what do I believe in now? And I said that I believe that I have found my sense of belonging within me. When I met my current partner, I find my sense of belonging next to him, not because that I am like belong to him. It's just that the fact that I'm allowed to be myself around him, and that gives
Mhm.
me the confidence back of being me. I'm loud, I'm noisy, I make mistakes, I'm imperfect, and guess what? I'm proud to be all of that because that's what made me unique, just the Martha that you see today.
And I have the same thing. And I think that's important that we realize, especially in a partner, that it's not that they love us despite those things. It's that they love us because of those things. I think that's so important to recognize. And it's one of those things of, your partner should not, how do I want to word this? You always hear, your partner is your other half or your better half or they complete you, they fulfill you. Yes, those are important things. But ultimately, your partner should make you a better person. You should be happier. You should be less stressed. You should be more content.
I
Those are
totally
important
agree.
things.
I totally agree with you. And one of the thing about being a woman is the insecurity of us. A lot of us that we have insecurity about our life, our self-worth, especially around our partner. We constantly have questions in our head, but we are too afraid to ask.
Mhm.
It's like just yesterday, I asked my partner, He's a Navy, so he's coming home in about a month or two time. And I was like, okay, so baby, I wanted to plan something when you come back. So where do you see me in your life that when you come back? And I'm not scared to ask that question, not coming from the fact that I have the insecurity that I need him to fall. I ask it based on my confidence of knowing, doesn't matter what your answer is, I love to have something that you can give me, but if not, I'm still going to survive. Doesn't matter because I can make my own planning. It's not about just completely depending on that person. You give them a chance to lift up themselves. If they're not ready to do it, give them the space, hold the space and hold the respect for them instead of hanging on them. Because when you're handing, what are you showing is insecurity. You need that validation. It's like, no, I want you to come to me and tell me what I am in your life, that in
Mm-hmm.
your future that you can see. It's a completely different power that you're holding when you can put your insecurity in tame and master your confidence.
Oh, I completely agree. And I always put myself out there. I'm an open book to the world. I'm actually on my third marriage.
Mhm.
My first two marriages were just disasters. But a lot of that, I don't blame them 100%. Yes, they had faults. But part of it was me. I didn't know who I was. I didn't have confidence in myself. I didn't love myself. Going into my current marriage was a totally different ball game because at that point I knew who I was. Still was figuring some things out as far as like what I wanted to do with my life, etc. And I've gotten there now. But I knew who I was. I knew who Kim was. I knew what Kim was worth. I knew what Kim would and would not put up with.
Mm.
And that was a game changer. Yes, there are still times that my husband will be sitting in his armchair, quiet, very non responsive. I'm like, hey, are you mad at me?
Mm.
But there's a difference in how I approach it. Because
Mm.
before it would have been, oh my God, what did I do wrong? I've screwed up something. Now it's like, okay, is there a problem? Let's talk this out. So it's a totally different thing.
I completely agree with you because when we approach the same situation with different wording, different vibration, that will completely change the whole vibe because everyone will experience a bad day. You may just caught him at a bad time that he
Mm-hmm.
needs some space around him. Just like you have your bad day that you want to have that peace, and what you're looking for is that little bit of support and love. So instead of using blame when you're in such a situation of not getting the answer that you seek, starting to have empathy, starting to have compassion about what the other people are going through. So if you're starting to have that, that will allow him to have a space to come back to you. Remember, human is a very weak creature. When you chase something, it doesn't happen. But when you allow it to come to you, that's when the whole situation change.
I think we also need to get to a point, and it took me, again, 40 plus years to get to the point of really being able to express myself
Mm.
and, you know, say what's on my mind rather than holding it in and holding back and really being able to, say what I need in that moment and what I want in that moment. Because again, there was always that, well, if I say this, they're going to get upset. This is not what they want. So there really is, that's where that confidence comes into play of being able to really assert yourself and know who you are and what you need.
Exactly. I remember when I was going through trauma therapy, there were stages that I say, hey, love means pain. I must go through pain
Mm-hmm.
before I actually go through finding love. And there was also a stage that one of my ex-boyfriend left me. I said that when he left, he took my light, my hope, and my smile away. Not until going through trauma therapy and learning that, hey, you know what? I have that power all along. I am the person that who can control who do I give the energy with, because we can only do one vibration at a time. We can't think about sad and happy at the same time. So we have a choice to choose a positive vibration or a negative vibration. And to do that, the first one we do is to avoid three words: don't, not, and no. When we stop saying those three words, it allows the universe to bring us more in. This is a learning that I got from law of attraction. Because when we're going for a situation, there's always positive and negative, but we hold the switch, that control of what do we choose to actually
Mhm.
take. So if we avoid those words, feeling like not good enough, why don't we ask, what do I want? Make that switch, make that restart button of what do I want. So start saying that what I want in life instead of what I don't want in life, because that's what law of attraction works. When you have a desire with no doubt, that's when you have instant manifestation. If you don't have that certainty and having that doubt, the result of what you're getting is a lot less than what you expect. So when you do something, trust in yourself, have that desire and surrender to it and allow it to come back to you. That will give you the return on investment over tenfold.
Well, and when you and I had this original conversation, I remember very vividly comparing it to a scene from a movie. And so I, if audience out there, if you don't want to watch the movie, that's fine. I encourage you to look up this scene from the movie though on YouTube. It's from The Runaway Bride, where she makes 50 million different types of eggs because every relationship she conformed to what they wanted. So her favorite eggs were their favorite eggs. Whatever they liked, that's what she liked. And so finally, somebody asked her what kind of eggs she liked. And she literally had to make every style of eggs out there to figure out how she actually liked her eggs.
Mm,
I encourage everybody to just watch that scene because that's going to embody exactly what Martha was just saying and put it into a different analogy for you. When I saw that scene, something in me clicked, and I realized I actually had to go through that process in multiple areas of my life. It wasn't just, in what kind of music I liked or whatever. It was so many different areas. And again, it's taken me into my 40s to finally start figuring out what kind of clothing I like, how I like my hair. I'm still experimenting with my hair. Yes, I always wear it up in a bun, but I play with hair colors.
mm,
And I just have fun with it because I can.
mm. Exactly. Exactly. I completely agree with you. A lot of us that when we say I can't because, that is immediately a sign of that limiting belief. Whenever you say because of something that you can't do, it's just a limiting belief. So when we're starting to shift and change that belief, that's when we're starting to take the power back into I can, I will, and I want. This is what I want. So I'm going to get it. It's not like that you go out of your way and with doing it with no respect. Respect is so important to yourself and to other people. So when we look at a situation, first we look at respect. Next is to look at, hey, what sort of language did I actually just use? Because your language change your thought change your vibration,
Mm-hmm.
and your vibration change your result. So a lot of us ask, how do I get a different result? We can go backwards. If you want a different result, first change our vibration. After you change your vibration, you will change your thought. When you change your thought, we will change our words. So this comes into a
Mm-hmm.
very healthy cycle every single time. So we always get what we ask for, so ladies. We always get what we ask for. Well, during my dating stage, I was saying that how come I keep attracting the mentally interesting guy, like that they all have a little bit of a mental issue. So when I starting to change my languages, I want an intelligent man. I want someone who's fully intelligent, who understand where they need to go, have a purpose in their life. And guess what? I find it. It wasn't easy at first. It took me about a year and a half, but it's
Hmm.
not about making mistake or failures. It's just about what not to do next. Every single experience that you go through in life is teaching you what not to do next. If it was a negative response, if it's a positive response, excellent. You learn another way of do things faster. That's how it is.
Oh yeah, I remember dating. Oh God, I remember dating. And I actually went through before I met my third husband. I actually went through and made a list, and I wrote down very intentionally the qualities I desired in a partner.
Mm,
And anytime I would meet somebody and I would think I was might date them, I'd give them a chance, but then I would always come back to that list of, does this person meet these needs?
yeah.
And that was a game changer for me. And for me, I'm a list person. I make lists for everything. I make lists for the menu for Thanksgiving dinner, for crying out loud. But that's how I operate.
Hmm.
So a list may not work for every other person. You may be able to just do it mentally,
Mm,
but find what works for you in whatever realm of your life it is.
mm,
We're talking about dating right now, but it may be in your career choice. It may be in school. It may be in finding a place to live. Be intentional with what you're wanting and be clear in what you're wanting.
mm. And I completely agree with you. A lot of the time that we need to have clarity, but even that you just know a little bit of it, that is your start already. What is worse is to stay in that procrastination and not realizing and admit to what the things that you don't know. So when we have a certain fear, admit to it first. When you realize it, that's when you have solution for it. Instead of fighting back, like that's defensive system. Instead of
Mhm.
having that activated, you once you admit it and realize that that is a problem, that's when solutions starting to come. Because just like law of attraction, you fight and think that you don't have a problem, then the universe won't give you a solution. So clarity is not easy to find, but we will only find it when we take a 3 millimeter shift every single day. Just that little bit of a shift. I'm not asking you to jump out of a high-rise building, but you can take that middle 3 millimeter shift just to change that tiny little bit. And change is not scary as long as that we know we're looking towards our goal. Just like that, we're thinking about going to Disneyland. We're all happy and excited of looking towards that goal. However, a lot of us choose to look at our goal backwards. So we're looking at our previous failures. We're looking at our previous pain and hurt. And that makes every single step towards your goal a lot harder. It's exactly the same process. You still have to take that step. Then why do we torture yourself by looking at the past? Shouldn't we be having that excitement of looking into going to Disneyland? Isn't that a lot
Mhm.
better feeling? And we all have that choice. We all allowed to make that switch. It's just about our belief of what we choose to do.
Well, and I think part of it, even with looking at the past, we're not saying don't look at the past at all. You learn from it.
Mm,
Look at its situation, look at that failure. What did it teach you? What did you gain from it? Because every failure is a learning opportunity.
exactly. I completely agree with you. When we don't treat mistake as a failure, it's just a learning opportunity and it's a wisdom that you can get. Ask yourself next time you feel like a loser. So, what do I learn from it? What is the positive learning I get from that? It'll be hard at first, but guess what? You will find it at the end and say that, hey, you know what? I did learn something from it. I did actually become a better person because there will be good days and bad days, but there's so much more that we didn't see when our mind is so narrow into focusing on the fault. So expand our mind, chunk it up more to see the bigger picture around us, because that's where all the happiness and opportunity lies.
Exactly. And that is like the perfect note to end this on. What you just said was the perfect note to end this on. So I'm so glad that you said that. That was couldn't have said it better. That was beautiful. Well, I want to thank you so much, Martha, for being on here tonight with me. I do have one final question for you. Has nothing to do with what we've talked about. What do you love about yourself?
I love my confidence. I love the sense of belonging that allow me to be me. I love the authentic me. I'm big, I got small eyes, I got flat nose, and guess what? I love all about it. And that's the beauty of having confidence and your sense of belonging within you.
Well, I think you're absolutely gorgeous. So,
Thank you.
you guys, thank you so much for being with us tonight. It has been a pleasure. I will be back next week with another fabulous guest. I hope you all have an amazing night. Bye, guys.
Bye.